When Lionel Clegg saw Karen's chair was still empty a week after Christmas break, he knew something must be off with one of his best students.
So didn't really think nothing of it outside of maybe she's either taking an extended vacation or maybe she's sick.
We never interviewed the quiet, bright first grader during our year-long series about life at Woodlawn Elementary School. We did get some video of her while filming in Mr. Clegg's class at the beginning of the year, and here she is laughing with friends on school picture day. The 7-year-old is from Guatemala. Mr. Clegg always made sure to use the Hispanic pronunciation of her name.
Cotton was very shy. One thing I say in my class all the time is that leaders aren't quiet, so I expect her to speak out, and she would always talk with her hand over her mouth, and she knew you can't answer a question with me covering your mouth, so she got into the habit of doing that, and I began to see that light shine in her and that confidence build in her before Christmas break.
Woodlawn's secretary, Sandra Vasquez Luna, could see Karen's confidence growing.
I remember like it was yesterday when she came in to register. She didn't speak English, Dad didn't speak English. From last year to this year, that girl came long ways. She got her English so quickly.
Assistant Principal Alma Velasquez saw it too. Karen had been at Woodlawn since kindergarten.
And so she had been with us already over a year, established herself as a great student, a student who was making a lot of progress.
You know, we do awards, and we do have reading awards, writing awards, and math awards. She actually had the award for overall growth because she was thriving in all areas.
She never missed this many days of school.
After 10 days, our kids are kicked off of our roster if they haven't attended school. So I went to the office just to see, hey, have we called her house yet, just to see if anything's going on or what the deal is.
So then I started reaching out to people on her emergency contacts, and an aunt picked up, and she's the one that told me that they got deported after their court hearing.
She told me at that point that Cotton had been deported. So it hit me just like a ton of bricks because, again, I'm still working with my kids at the time, but just now I really couldn't think of anything but, you know, the things that maybe Cotton and her family are going through, and that was really hard.
I ended up calling the family that she has in town, and they did share with me that the family had been ordered to leave, and they left this month.
There was talk of deportation, sadness, and fear at Woodlawn those next few days.
It's not something that I even knew how to deal with. The first thing I was thinking was, how can we get her back? But again, never being faced with that situation, it just, again, came to the realization that basically she's gone.
Mr. Clegg didn't give details, but told his students, Karen's classmates, she wasn't coming back.
I simply told them that she's going to another school and she won't be with us anymore. There were a lot of kids just in that statement alone, you know, that were upset.
What went through your mind?
Am I next? How long will I have with my family? Just being a DACA recipient, I know I can be next. Sorry. It's hard.
Sandra was brought to the U.S. from Mexico before she was 1. Now she has 5 kids of her own. Her DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals status, means she can live and work here for now. It's not a guarantee she can stay forever.
It's never been that close to us. It's never been where kids had to question, wait, where did Karen go? Or what happened to Karen? Or it's now starting to just the explanation of giving to the kids. It's hard on me.
Alma could also relate.
And this is a story that's personal to me. You know, my father was an undocumented immigrant. And so if it weren't for the fact that he took that risk me and my family would not be here right now. So I understand very well that people leave their countries for a number of reasons because they have no other choices. It's not a risk that you ever take lightly.
20% of students at Woodlawn are Hispanic, 14% are English learners. Woodlawn in every Portland public school has a very clear policy. They don't care about a student's immigration status. They will teach and provide a safe environment for every student in their school.
We don't ask any questions of our students. We never ask when they show up, do you have papers? That is not ever, the question that we ask is, how can I help? You know, what do you need? Because it's irrelevant. I don't see kids as, are you here with a legal status or not?
According to school board policy, immigration and customs enforcement officials can't enter a Portland public school without notifying the superintendent and district's general counsel in person first. If ICE enters Woodlawn, they go into lockdown. Portland Public Schools was one of many districts across the country to pass this type of policy in November of 2016 after President Trump was elected.
When this first really hit the fan, I believe last year, there were letters sent out informing our parents to, rest assured that we're not doing any special documentation checks or anything to that effect to make you leery or weary of bringing your children to school. So that's been something I've been very, again, confident and comfortable in, and a little overly confident and comfortable at this point. So,
if a family member says a student was deported, school officials would not investigate further or have any real way of finding out more information. Immigration proceedings are incredibly private. There's no public immigration court docket, no way to immediately access public records unless you know what's called an A number or alien number. ICE would not tell us anything about Karen because she's a minor. They did say Karen's dad, Miguel Gaspar, entered the country illegally in 2018 near the border between Mexico and New Mexico. He was caught by Border Patrol agents, released into the U.S. a few days later, and was being monitored by immigration officials through phone calls and in-person checks. ICE said Gaspar was not deported, but going through immigration proceedings and had a hearing next month. The judge at the last two immigration hearings ordered a voluntary removal, but he was granted a continuance. He sent Karen back to Guatemala before that third hearing. We don't know if Gaspar is still in the U.S. or back there too.
There's immigrant children in every school, and so this is not a unique story, sadly, that we lose children this way. Yeah.
Alma knows people will say Gaspar did this to himself and to Karen.
I think people who speak that way haven't had the need to find a better place for their family, haven't seen themselves in a situation where, they had to do something, because I am a mother, I am, like I said, an immigrant. I can't imagine that I wouldn't move everything for my child, that I wouldn't go to the ends of the earth to give her an opportunity that I thought she could have.
At Woodlawn, it doesn't make a difference if Karen and her dad were deported, facing deportation, or left because the weight of the unknown was just too much. Karen's gone, and so is the person she could have been here.
I seen a little girl grow up in a short amount of time, and I know the potential that she has.
I'm sorry this happened to her. That I hope she's well, and that we really cared about her and that we thought she was very special. That her friends miss her. That's what I would say. Yeah, sorry.
My name's Cameron Green. I am 10 years old.
When Cameron said this on the first day of school,
I was like, I'm really doing this. I'm really going to 5th grade. I can't believe this.
she never imagined she'd be ending the year like this.
Hey, Miss Flores. I feel like it was just, it's okay to miss stuff in life, but I'm also gonna say I was upset, highly sad, and upset very much.
Sitting in the back of her mom's SUV, waiting for her teachers to drive by.
I'm happy to see that I get to like wave to my teachers, but also I'm a little bit kind of upset because I can't give them a hug.
But COVID-19 changed everything. Now, teacher parades are a thing.
It's about 4.5 miles, and we're just gonna drive with our hazards on and balloons and streamers and have the windows down and just wave our way through.
Woodlawn staffers decorated their cars with streamers and signs to celebrate the students, especially the 5th graders.
It's very sweet, it's sad, I'm happy, it's, just a mix of emotions right now. I haven't seen them in almost 3 months, so.
They're like your children. Not only are they your students, but they're like our kids. So we're losing a part of our kids. They have a bit of a history because they are being promoted during this craziness. But we're gonna miss you. It's different, Kristen. It's different.
One of my students, when we left for spring break, was taking pictures of the hallway because he was like, what if we never come back, And I was like, we'll be back, don't worry about it. Like, we'll definitely get to clap you out. And so it's hard to think about this sort of virtual goodbye is how they're ending their time here.
Never would have guessed this in a million years to end on this type of note with no closure and just kind of everybody in the rafters hanging. It's just a really empty, kind of weird feeling.
Come on, friends, on over here.
Instead of lining the hallways to clap out the graduating Wildcats for a final time, staffers lined the parking lot for a virtual clap out. The whole thing was sweet, surreal, strange.
You did it, Wildcats! Way to go! Off to middle school!
I was looking forward to doing the clap out.
5th grader Bennett has been at Woodlawn since 1st grade. We first met him at the back-to-school fair in August, days before the first day of school.
A lot of people have childhoods here, good times here.
When he shared this,
Feel like I'm gonna have to step up and be a leader.
Bennett feels like he accomplished that goal.
I kind of became more serious at things, not more silly. I feel like I've been more responsible lately.
Mom Tiana says it's because of his teachers.
But to have Mr. Lowry and Mr. Clegg be consistent, active role models in his life has been life-changing for us, for sure. They know what he needs as being a young black male, yeah. Because there's things that I can't give to him, and I don't know how to help him always because I'm a mom, I haven't experienced what it's like to be a young boy, and a young black boy at that.
5th grader Olivia has never known any school but Woodlawn.
What has this school meant to you? What has Woodlawn meant to your life?
It was basically like a family to me. There's a lot of people who are there for you, and they will always be there for you, and they're just kind to you no matter what happens.
Earlier this year, she talked about the importance of having teachers of color.
When I was little, I didn't understand what racism was, what any type of stuff like that was. But now that I've had teachers that look like me explain it to me, it's a part of my history, so it makes me feel happy that they're talking about it now.
Mom Alicia has noticed the impact too.
She's grown from no, I absolutely want my hair straight, to embracing who she is as a person and how her natural hair grows. And so I think that, having teachers of color in her life have helped with that.
And Cameron can't imagine not being back at Woodlawn next year.
But I'm saying it's just a school where you get to be you. Nobody's gonna judge you. There's not bullies or anything. We're all like a huge, big family. We're the Wildcat family. And us Wildcats stick together.
Cameron lights up when she talks about her teachers.
Mr. Lowry, Mr. Clegg, Miss Howard, Miss Parker, oh yeah, and Mr. Blair. They're just like
like my heart. Like they tell me what to do, even if that's not the best decision, it always turns out to be a great decision. And I really do truly love them. I love you, teachers. They helped me through times where either I've just been very sad, stuff has been going on with my friends, I've gotten into arguments with people that have backfired. They've helped me with who I am as a person in life. These pep talks and these little small moments turn out to be a huge, big opportunity in life. They turn out to be so great because like they're so wise, and I'm just a kid and I always think I'm right, but I'm not. They're right.
Mom Ashley said Woodlawn made Cameron who she is today.
It gave her that sense of knowing, hey, these teachers don't look like me and they're my teacher. So at this point, there's nothing that I can't do. Having them, teach her and guide her and instill all these values into her are the things that she'll carry with her forever.
That is the guts. That's what keeps Woodlawn, is the diversity in teachers, the diversity in the way teaching happens, and just those connections that kids make. Many of our kids see someone that looks like them in a position of leadership and in a position of power, and to them it's a real empowering thing to see someone that looks like you be in that leadership position.
Congratulations, you made it during this last little stretch, and just hold on to this and learn from it. I don't know. It's just it's a hard way to go out of something that's supposed to be kind of a milestone. But you're one of the original people that have done it, so it's that's your mark on history.
I would say congratulations, but I'm one that I always say this is just one milestone in your educational trajectory. So don't sit here and celebrate too long, because you still got to get back on it and keep pushing, because we have middle school, then you have high school, and for me, I always tell my students you have college as well, and hopefully beyond that.
If you could say something to your teachers like Mr. Clegg, Mr. Lowry, what would you say?
Thank you for everything y'all done.
And like what? What did they do for you?
They helped me be a better person and helped me get smarter in academics, math, and learn more than I could ever imagine.
To know now that he's got to, keep go through life now without them, it's a little scary. So I'm hoping that maybe we can still stay in contact with those guys and they can continue to be active role models for Benny.
And what would you say to your teachers?
Thank you, just for everything you've done for me. Oh my God. Thank you. I don't know how to explain it, but I knew it wouldn't be right if I didn't say thank you, because after all that they've done for me and people who go to Woodlawn, it just wouldn't be right to not say thank you.
I would say thank you for everything. All the things you've done, all the things you didn't know you did. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I'm sad. I'm very emotional about this type of stuff. But I know that it's okay. You just have to keep that head up, because they're always going to be your teachers and they're always going to be by your side. And they're always going to be there for you. So you can't cry and you can't tear up. You just have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing.
Do you think you'll always be a Woodlawn Wildcat?
Yes.
And why is that, Bennett?
because it's in my DNA.
And what does that mean? Like, what does that mean to be a wildcat?
It's like, you know the song, how does it go?
I am a wildcat. I am a wildcat.
We are wildcats.
We are wildcats. I am respectful.
I'll be respectful.
Safe, crime, responsible. Safe, crime, responsible.
I am a wildcat.
I am a wildcat. We are wildcats. We are wildcats. Roar! Oh my gosh.